Hi, this is Constance Towers, and welcome to TV Confidential.
Robertson welcoming you to TV Confidential, radio talk show about television that will play part 2 of our conversation with Ruta Lee in our second hour. Ruta Lee, one of the grand dames of the entertainment industry and an actress whose career in film, stage, and television includes such classics as Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Witness for the Prosecution, The Twilight Zone, The Fugitive, and Perry Mason. Ruta Lee will join us in our second hour. Our second hour will also feature part 2 of our conversation with comedy historian Jeff Abraham, plus a replay of our conversation with Bill Marks about the television career of the Marx Brothers. Bill Marx is the son of Harpo Marx. We hope you'll stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we'll open up our first hour by welcoming the Emperor, Roman Mitichyan. If you follow UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and mixed martial arts, you know Roman as the Emperor, which was his handle when he performed on the MMA circuit, racking up a one-loss record of 15-3 before an injury ended his career. But that opened the door to a new career as an actor and stuntman, and very soon, I understand, film director. Roman has more than 100 film and TV credits as an actor and stuntman over the past decade, including 10 Minutes Gone with Bruce Willis and Michael Chiklis, which is now available for streaming on demand as this program airs. If you have Apple TV, you can see Roman opposite Jennifer Aniston in the highly anticipated new series, The Morning Show, which premieres Friday, November 1st. We'll ask Roman about that and more in just a sec. But first, Roman Mitichyan, welcome to TV Confidential.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the great introduction.
I am not an athlete, but I do watch a lot of sports. But I particularly respect athletes who make the transition, as you have, from sports to acting, because in a lot of ways, what you're doing as an actor is not too much different from what you did when you were a professional athlete, because it's performing. It's not only performing, it's performing and trying to achieve the best possible performance you can whenever possible.
That's a good way of putting that, because it's, first of all, it involves tremendous amounts of discipline, what we do. As an athlete, because once you reach that professional level in any sport, so you're talking about discipline, you're talking about schedules, you're talking about being on time. So when you make that transition to films, I think it helps a lot.
Very much so. The same rules apply as the whole approach to discipline, regardless of what sport you're talking about, because whether you're a starter, whether you're a role player, when you took the mat in MMA, you have to be ready when the bell rings, and so you've got to prepare yourself for the moment in every way possible, and that's exactly what you do when you work as an actor in film and television.
Yeah, it's a toolbox. It's one of those things, some people have great few tools, but, when you go in, whether you're best out of your throws, judo, grappling, jiu-jitsu, or, you're a good kickboxer or you're a boxer. But in mixed martial arts MMA, it's well-rounded. So I think you should have an idea from every aspect of sports, meaning of my background. I started freestyle wrestling and sambo, which is a Russian sport back in Armenia and Russia. Mm-hmm. That's where I was born, and I grew up there, and then I moved to U.S., and my transition in U.S., it was the MMA, mixed martial arts. And, I got lucky. I joined Ultimate Fighter 6, and then Dana White, who is still president of UFC, he brought me back, and I fought for UFC. I think it's one of the high levels in MMA, not to brag about it, but it was fun. It was a nice transition. It was from sambo and judo wrestling to mixed martial arts, and I did okay. I mean, I wasn't a champion, but I won in a few fights, and I think I still have the records up there, like 15 fastest finishes in UFC history, still up there, the leg lock.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think it's fun. The only thing is, when you fighting that professional level of sport, So you get injured. The injuries from sparrings and everything else. So it's really hard on your body, and I really encourage every single fighter or sportsman or any other sports, even like tennis or anything else, can't take this for granted. These people go through very serious injuries. So, it's hard on your body, and it's a young man's sport. I just turned 40, and transition to films and TV, it's been blessing. I think I'm blessed and working with such a great actors and producers and directors who are giving you a chance in your career. Just hard work, I think, and also good message to my fellow fighters and friends and everybody else. After they're done fighting with their professional career, some they get what I do next. It's kind of tough decision to make. Some they become just coach and trainers and so on and so forth, or get a regular job. And, I feel kind of sad for those a lot of guys, and I just want to give them good message. You can do it too. It's everyone can. If they can, you can. I think I just really want to encourage every single guy. If you're in that level of fighting, that means you have the heart and you have the discipline, and you can do it.
Roman Mitichyan is on the line with us. Roman can be seen opposite Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show, the new series from Apple TV, which premieres Friday, November 1st. He's alluded to the fact that he's been fortunate to work with some of the top directors and top actors in film and television. Just to give you an idea of who Roman has worked with in the past decade, he's worked with Bruce Willis, Jim Carrey, Christian Bale, director Adam McKay of Vice, many, many other top stars. In a way, you have no control whether you're going to work with Jim Carrey in a movie or Jim Barr. But my understanding is when you decided to become an actor, you decided, I'm going to do this all in, and whenever I can, I want to work with the best so I can learn and become the best. That's how you looked at it, right?
That would be the approach, because when you are fighting, you're training hard every day, and you do 2 times of training if you're in camp. You have a fight coming up. So a lot of people, even fighters or just actors, they want to be actors. And I hear this, I'm a natural actor. No one is a natural actor, okay? We're all actors in our lifetime. We all do acting as we get up in the morning. We walk away, and the way you talk, the way you walk, there is a character in you. So now, you want to be a good actor, you got to go to school. I'm in school. I'm still in school, and I love going to school. And whenever I can, because thank God I'm busy shooting, that's my school while I'm working. But other than that, people, they have to understand this career, it's the same thing as, it's like, if I don't train, how am I going to beat this guy? It's going to kill me going to the ring, and I'll get knocked out. Easy. Because I haven't trained. Same thing with actors. When you go and you get all these tools, sometimes the directors are really flexible. There's an improv. You're working with Bruce Willis, and one guy you forgot to mention I love so much working with, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
And the John Wick 3. And when he comes up, director says, I want you to improv over these lines and go do something more. You got to be there. You got to be ready to jump on it and do it. And that's training. That's not being natural actor. It's called training, being prepared.
It is called being prepared. And this is another parallel between professional athletics and professional acting, is that whether you're a working actor or whether you're an actor of prestige, you don't get hired as often as you do. You don't enjoy the sort of a longevity that a lot of professional athletes enjoy unless they continue to work hard and don't just rest on their laurels, because you always want to learn and you always want to rehearse and you always want to prepare.
One thing I can address about fighting and parallel, as you just mentioned. So fighting and acting, it's performing, as we talked about. So same thing, if you don't love it, don't do it. Meaning if you walk into the ring and you just want to make money and you want to say, you may win a fight or so, maybe 2. But you got to love it to do it. I fought for no money. I fought for $100, and I fought for thousands of dollars. nothing made a difference from my training. My training always was the same because there was love. I love what I did, and I love what I do now as an actor. So meaning of when you go into work and there's one line or there's 8 pages of dialogue, there's no small jobs. They're all good. You just got to love it. Especially camera assists so much. If you don't enjoy it, believe me, it's not believable, and I don't think you'll get hired again or whatever the situation is. So that's my message.
You mentioned working with Keanu Reeves, who you worked on 2 of the John Wick movies. I have always liked Keanu because he could have easily gone the traditional leading man, showbiz, movie star route, but he's never done that. I mean, yeah, he's done a couple of studio movies, but for the most part, he has chosen projects that he personally believes in, and that says a lot about who he is as a person, and that reflects his body of work as a performer, I think.
With Keanu, we have to understand there is actors who choose to do studio films, which is fine. It's all good, you know. But Keanu is one of those guys I speak with loyalty. You can't find a lot of loyalty in this town, but that's the truth. So this guy is so loyal, and of course he believes in the project. And Chad Stahelski, who was directing John Wick 1, 2, and 3, he's a great director and he was a stuntman. He was, if I'm not mistaken, he was stunt double for Keanu Reeves on Matrix and all the other movies. So they became friends, and this idea born about John Wick, and I think Derek Koslat, who is the writer, next thing it's a movie, and now it's one of the great action thrillers out there. And Keanu is a hard worker, man. I've seen the guy. He's one of those guys you just learn every day, and you can definitely learn who he is, his personality, very quiet. I just love the guy. I wish every single movie stars or stars. For me, it doesn't exist such a thing as star. We're all human beings. For me, star is someone shows humanity. For me, is a star who looks down people not to look them down, who looks them down to give their hand and pull them up. Those are stars for me. Those are the people who star. They are the star for this society, for this world. Other than that, they're all just humans.
Roman Mitichyan is the star of this segment. Roman can soon be seen opposite Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show, the highly anticipated new series from Apple TV, which premieres Friday, November 1st. Okay, now, point of clarification, folks. We're recording this conversation about a week before The Morning Show drops on Apple TV, so there's a limitation to what Roman can say until the show actually drops. So that all being said, Roman, what can you tell us about The Morning Show? What can you tell us about your character without giving too much away?
Sure. So it was a pleasure working with Mimi Leader, who is, I think, creator, director, writer. She gave me the opportunity. Also, my friend Charlie Crockwell, who brought me into this project. So working with Jennifer Aniston, also Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell, these people are amazing, and I just learned every day when I was in set. She was cool, super nice. My character name is Sam Rudo, and it's not a secret. It's on IMDb. It's all over. But story, I can talk about the story, and I hope every single person is excited to watch. People love Jen and, Reese and Steve Carell, and there's some other actors. They're all phenomenal. What I know, Apple TV really dropped a big money on this project because they believed in it, and they have amazing stars attached and a great group of directors and creative people. So I just want to be thankful and thanking every single person, cast and crew, and hardworking people. So this was a blessing to be part of it, and, looking forward for some more.
Roman Mitichyan can be seen opposite Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show, the highly new anticipated series from Apple TV, which officially drops on Friday, November 1st. Roman also recently played a comic balloon vendor opposite Jim Carrey in Jim Carrey's web series kidding. He also appeared opposite Bruce Willis and Michael Chiklis in the movie 10 Minutes Gone. 10 Minutes Gone is now available for streaming on demand on iTunes, YouTube, Amazon, other streaming platforms. I understand that you worked with Bruce again in a movie called Trauma Center. What can you tell us about that?
Well, before Trauma Center, I'm going to go back a few years ago. I worked with Bruce first time on a film called Extraction.
Okay.
And then this is my second one. And my third one is the Trauma Center. We shot in Puerto Rico, and it was in San Juan, a beautiful place. So that's coming up hopefully end of this year, or it's Lionsgate movie, and it's action, nice thriller, and I'm playing detective opposite Bruce Willis. And that's about it. I can, I hope you guys watch it.
Okay, or let me ask this. You play a detective this time. In many of your other dramatic roles, you're often cast as a heavy, as a bad guy. Do you care whether you're cast as a good guy or a bad guy, or do you look for the best part you can find?
I do care, because if you're a creative part, which is you're an actor, you always look for new challenges. Because if you just keep playing heavies and villains, and that's where I get cast most of the time, because I speak fluent Armenian, fluent Russian, read and write, and I played cartels, Mexican, I do pretty good Spanish. So these kind of roles, they can, based on your look, it's called typecasting.
Yes.
I don't mind it, but would I like to transition to something else? Would I like to play doctors and detectives, and you go on with different, characters? Yes, absolutely. But of course, I have to see the character, and I have to read the best part if that's a good role for me. What does it do for me? What is it? You as an actor, you go really deep in, you search, you try to find out. Even at the end of the day, when you're playing these villains, they're going to kill you anyway. So why don't we do the best before we die? That's my whole motivation right there, So trying not to die in the movies, I haven't had, so I'm working on it.
You're working on it. I understand the secret to playing a heavy is to not think of them as a heavy. How does that mesh with your approach?
It's have you heard of one of those things that don't try to be believable, just be you? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Is it my lifestyle is being heavy? My lifestyle is being a bad guy? I don't know. It's, I just be me. I just play myself, and I work all the time, not to brag about it, just knock on wood. It's one of those things when you watch Casino, Joe Pesci is a great actor, but I think I met him slightly. I think that's him. I saw him in the movie, and I saw him, outside in the set, just spoke. These guys are not, that's him. He's not playing a character.
On the line with us is Roman Mitichyan. Roman can be seen opposite Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show, the new series from Apple TV, which premieres on Friday, November 1st. We'll take a quick time out, and we'll talk some more with Roman when we come back on TV Confidential.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today.
800-712-8002. That's 800-712-8002. Paid for by U.S. Med.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Story Salon is Los Angeles' longest-running storytelling venue. We have live shows every Wednesday in Studio City, as well as solo shows, podcasts, CDs, and several books. Los Angeles Daily News calls Story Salon Gemstones of Narrative, something new, funny, astonishing. Sunset Magazine says tales tall, tragic, and tantalizing. All of this makes Story Salon one of the most eclectic entertainment experiences available. You can learn more about us by going to our Facebook page or by visiting our website at www.storysalon.com.
Accredited by Guinness World Records, welcome to Archival Television Audio Incorporated, a peerless TV soundtrack archive, preserving the audio from television's first 3 decades, the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, the golden and silver age of television.
For more information, go to atvaudio.com.
Ed Robertson, along with her friend Donna Allen Figueroa, who I understand has a new book out.
Yes, it's entitled Fall Again Beginnings. It's the first part of a 4-part contemporary romantic series set against the background of working actors.
Something that you know a thing or two
well,
about.
You write what you know, and I have been working in the business for several years.
It is not necessarily autobiographical, but it's based on...
Sure, many of the experiences that the actors in my book have, many have happened to me, many have happened to friends of mine. It's not, if you're looking for Valley of the Dolls, it's not, it's grounded in reality.
It is grounded in reality, and it's the first in a series.
Yes.
Called the Fall Again series.
Fall Again.
Which is available as a paperback as well as an ebook and in Kindle at fallagainseries.com.
Hi, this is Vince Van Patten. You're listening to TV Confidential.
Most people want to trust that the person that is telling them about the world is an honest person. Like you.
Yes.
Robertson, along with guest Roman Mitichyan. Roman can be seen opposite Jennifer Aniston in The Morning Show. The Morning Show, the highly anticipated new series from Apple TV, which premieres on Friday, November 1st. You can follow Roman on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Roman's last name is spelled Mitichym, Roman Mitichyan. Before we went to break, Roman was telling us his approach to playing villains whenever he is cast as a villain in movies or on TV. I would say, if I'm hearing you correctly, you find, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy, you find something in it that connects to who you are, Roman, and then you start your approach from there. Is that?
Yeah, that's correct, because our lifestyle, you know, I came to this country in 2000. We travel the world and different parts of the world, and you see lots of good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you grew up in a tough region back in Armenia. You know, when you're born in Armenia, every boy, if you're a boy, you got to go to martial arts. It's a must thing to go and learn martial arts. So, is this makes you tough? Maybe so. Is this the mentality? Could be. But opposite of that, you never forget being a human being, doing good, anything good, and try to help others. Now, playing bad guys, don't overdo it. Less is more. Mm-hmm. We all hear this, and so I go in, I do my thing, and they love it. And next thing, I work with the same directors and actually producers more than once. So I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign because they bring you back.
They bring you back, and they know that, you know, you're going to give them what they need without giving too much.
That's pretty much it. You just go in and you be yourself, and that's it. Yeah, that fulfills their needs.
We mentioned in our open that you're about to make your directorial debut. You've got 2 films you're about to direct. What can you tell us about those?
Okay, so one is still in the air, but the other one I'm working on. Can't give out much. It's a film. The story came to me. It's a true story, which I'm going to say based on true story.
Okay.
And directorial, it's about the vision, what you see, and I'm really looking forward. I'm so pumped up about this, and I'm trying to get this off the ground. Hopefully, we got the script. I have a great writer. Matter of fact, this morning I was meeting one of the producers.
Okay.
So things are looking good. It's a good message. I would love to tell you more when we get closer. I just don't want to talk about the story or, you know, the premises and everything else.
Tell you what, when you're ready, when you're closer to production, when you're ready to talk about it, come back and visit us again on TV Confidential.
I love to do that. It's a horror thriller. I can give you that.
Okay. It sounds like you're doing much of the things a director needs to do anyway, which goes back to one of the things we talked about earlier, about discipline, preparation, doing all of your homework, getting you ready for, in which case, when the cameras start rolling and you step behind the camera and you start directing your movies. You're doing all the legwork that you have to do to get the film ready.
So, since this is going to be my, I did direct about 2-3 short movies, but this would be like the full-length and, legitimate something I want to do. And it's so much work. That's why I have so much respect for this directors and producers. A lot of people don't understand when they just go in for day playing or their weekly, they go in, they just work and they do their acting, collect their money out. Sometimes they're not happy with this or that. Guys, actors, performers, everybody, let's be humble and try to help the project, any project. First of all, if you're in there, that means you are chosen one. So let's be grateful, I would say the word. We can always be unhappy with a lot of things, but when I see the director's work, it's a lot of work. It's so much on people's, you're running the show. Everybody's looking at you like, oh, what's the next shot? Are you doing the right thing? But what's right and what's wrong? So you have to be prepared. Absolutely, 100%, no doubt. So, I'm taking my time right now. Everything is in place. I just need to get the creative moment going, and we'll start casting and, rock and roll.
Well, in the meantime, if you have Apple TV, you can see Roman Mitichyan in the morning show opposite Jennifer Aniston, also starring Reese Witherspoon and Steve Carell. The morning show drops Friday, November 1st on Apple TV. You can also see Roman in 10 Minutes Gone with Bruce Willis, which is also available for streaming on demand. You can follow Roman on Twitter. And are you on Instagram?
It's Hollywood Roman. Yes, it's on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, and Facebook is Roman Mitichyan. And by the way, last week I finished the last episode of Homeland.
Oh, okay. On Showtime.
That was awesome.
We will look for that as well. Roman Mitichyan,
thank you
so much for joining us. We'll have you back on TV Confidential one of these days soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Become an advertiser or underwriter of TV Confidential and let our brand help promote your brand. To find out more, go to televisionconfidential.com/advertise.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today.
800-712-8002. That's 800-712-8002. Paid for by U.S. Med.